Yeah, that's awesome. And in regards to the stroke rate, so you've gotten it up to 40, which would be the equivalent of 80. So we're talking 40
Mhm.
in terms of that's sort of two
Right.
strokes. So
Yes.
and bring it back down to 34, 35 without having seen you swim. That's probably around the sweet spot for you, being around 70 strokes per minute. Because if you're going at 80, look, there's not a lot of swimmers that I know that can sustain 80 comfortably. So you might find that a stroke rate of 70 strokes a minute or 35, and then going to work on the catch and a couple of other
Mhm.
things along with that would be your time best spent, rather than just trying to continually increase it, which it sounds like you're not doing that. But instead of just trying to go for the faster stroke rate, a lot of times, especially if you're swimming with a wetsuit on, it's about basically a better catch, better rhythm in the water, and finding that sweet spot, which it sounds like you've probably found. And like, let's say, how long ago was it? A year ago, where you sort of first started to make some changes?
It was maybe like 2.5 weeks before Mont Tremblant, which was I think August 21st last year. Like I was
Mm.
still quite panicked for this. And I mean, I've done this race before, and I knew, okay, it is what it is. Just get through the swim, get me on the bike as fast as I can, and move on. But seeing that small gain last year, and then I wasn't tired was the thing. Like I could swim 3.5K, and I would get out of the water. It was like hadn't even been in. So that was huge. I mean, I come out of the water last year with a big smile. Usually, I come out of the water in hard shape.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love hearing that, and it makes an Ironman event so much better to do. I was the opposite when I did Ironman. I was big smile through the swim, and then it pretty quickly turned into a frown the entire way through. But it's yeah, that's awesome to hear. And thinking back to a year ago, did you ever think that you'd be able to get down to a 130 pace? Did you know what that would look like or feel like in your swimming?
No, it's quite hard to believe, really. And I've had some of my friends say, I always knew you could swim better, but I really didn't see this coming. And and that's an understatement. Like I was striving for 2 minutes per 100. And when I reached that last year after Tremblant, I focused on everything. I've been watching your videos and it focused on all that. And then, of course, our lakes get too cold to swim in with no pool. I reached that point. 155 was quite comfy for 1,500 meters. This year, I knew I was in decent shape when I got in the water about 10th of June for our lakes warm up enough. I was 205 right out the gate. So I said, okay, it's still there. I haven't lost everything. Now let's work on endurance and keeping that 2 minute. I was just focused on 2 minutes. It wasn't long. I could swim 2K at 2 minute pace within 5 or 6 swims. But what by watching all your stuff here, what's changed to get that extra was now I've trying to kick, but not hard so I don't blow up. But two beat kick, but timing it with the stroke that it automatically rolls into the next stroke, and it almost gave me 25 seconds per 100. Because if you see my Strava files, I went from like 155 to 131 pace overnight, and I haven't swam. Well, I don't think I've swam under or over 135 in the last 3 weeks.
And what were you doing before with your kick?
Nothing, just dragging them along, which would keep them. They were probably not above the surface hardly ever, and it was just I was basically focusing on this catch and feeling the water and proper pull. So I said, okay, I feel confident with that. We're going to try to kick, and I've added that in it, and my heels are always above water. Now my kick doesn't drive me forward, but at least there's no more drag. And if I can get that timing right, that I roll into each stroke, because most of my friends that have watched me swim say I swim pretty flat. I don't rotate enough. That kick, if it's timed just right, rotates me in each stroke, and I find of course, your head comes out of water at the right time to breathe. So that alone gave me another 20, 25 seconds per 100 instantly.